If there's another fight that would sell and that would be huge, it would be that. It would be Diaz 3.
Oh, yeah.
Well, who would you want to if it was offered?
McGregor is being talked to headline the White House card. I don't buy it.
The drama surrounding Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz refuses to fade, no matter how much time passes or how many new contenders rise through the ranks. It lingers in the background of every major UFC conversation like unfinished business that simply refuses to settle.
Fair play, man. Respect. He doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to come back. He's got lots of other avenues.
It would be, especially if Diaz gets past Poirier.
Yes.
Even if he doesn't.
The answer is also out there because he is the sport's biggest star. That is true.
And now, with whispers of a historic White House card floating through the MMA world, that rivalry has been dragged back into the spotlight once again. It started with the simplest of admissions. If the right name was there, if the right opportunity presented itself, the door wasn't closed. But it wouldn't be at lightweight. It wouldn't be just for anyone. There has to be something real, something meaningful. And when the subject of a trilogy with McGregor surfaced, you could feel the shift in tone. That wasn't just another hypothetical. That was unfinished business. The other half of the story. Diaz 3. Picture the moment. The door swings open. The atmosphere changes instantly.
Ways to make money, but fighting is something that never leaves you, okay? It's a part of who...
Right now I'm not fighting in there because there's nobody to fight, really. It's kind of slow rolling.
So is that what you need? If you've got the open checkbook and you've got the magic wand...
I mean, just that fight alone. I mean, there's the history between those two guys. I mean, that would be...
Nate Diaz doesn't walk into rooms quietly. He never has. He makes statements without saying much at all. When he pointed toward McGregor with that White House card raised high, it wasn't about titles or rankings. It wasn't about legacy tours or sentimental comebacks. It was about rivalry. It was about chaos. It was about two personalities that collide in a way that guarantees violence and headlines in equal measure. Yet not everyone is convinced this is the right move. Dana White, ever the realist, cooled the excitement with a reminder that time changes everything in this sport. A year in MMA isn't just 12 months. It's title changes, career-altering knockouts, injuries, retirements, and sudden resurgences. By the time that proposed 4th of July spectacle arrives, the entire landscape could look completely different. McGregor hasn't fought since 2021. Diaz hasn't secured that defining welterweight return. To White, discussing a trilogy now feels premature. Not impossible, just premature. Michael Bisping, however, sees it differently.
Yeah, the thing about Diaz when they first fought was that he didn't give a fuck.
Without saying names, do you say, I'm going to put as my main event the sport's biggest star? Is that your answer?
To him, if both men return, the decision is simple. You make the fight. Their first two encounters were seismic events that reshaped the UFC's global reach. They don't need belts to validate them. They don't need elaborate build-ups. The rivalry sells itself. There's something primal about it. McGregor doesn't need to come back for money. He doesn't need to come back for fame. But fighting, as Bisping put it, never truly leaves you. It becomes part of your DNA. And if that competitive fire still burns, then a White House showdown feels almost inevitable. Then the conversation widens. What if the White House card demands something even bigger? A true super fight. John Jones versus Alex Pereira. A clash that could redefine greatness itself. Pereira chasing a third belt. Jones defending his throne as the sport's most decorated figure. That's the kind of matchup that shakes the foundation of MMA. That's history carved in stone. Others argue for practicality. Heavyweight title fights. Bantamweight wars. Multiple undisputed belts on one card. A lineup so stacked it feels unreal. Some even question whether McGregor should headline at all if a title isn't attached to his name. Star power matters.
You have an open checkbook and you have a magic wand and you don't use any names, but you're going to put the champion.
You are, it's in your DNA, it's part of your soul. And he wants to come back and he wants to get his hands raised.
But so does championship legitimacy. Can the biggest card in American history truly be anchored by a non-title bout? And then came the sharpest criticism of all. Ben Askren, never one to hold his tongue, questioned Diaz's legacy outright, pointing to the record, calling it average, suggesting that personality and self-belief did more heavy lifting than performance inside the cage. It was the kind of take designed to ignite backlash, because Diaz has never been about clean records or polished resumes.
Like, how is it that you would answer that question? And then what if you're really going to go for a big fight? What if you really follow this for a long time?
He's been about moments, about defiance, about walking into the fire and daring someone to stand with him. That's why this trilogy refuses to die. It's not about who holds the belt. It's about history. McGregor versus Diaz isn't just a fight. It's an energy. It's a collision of trash talk that never rattled Diaz and precision that once stunned the world. It's blood, ego, and unfinished chapters. The kind of rivalry that doesn't need marketing slogans because the tension is already embedded in the culture of the sport. So now the question hangs heavier than ever. Does Nate Diaz return and secure the statement win that makes this fight undeniable? Does Conor McGregor truly re-enter the testing pool and commit to one last run at glory? Or does the White House card evolve into something entirely different, built around champions and super fights that redefine legacy? Because if they both come back, if the timing aligns and the fire is still there, the world already knows what the biggest fight would be. Not because it needs to be forced, but because it never really ended. What do you think happens next? Does Diaz versus McGregor 3 finally become reality? Or is there a bigger fight waiting to steal the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the biggest stories in MMA, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss what's coming next.
Do what we used to call a super fight, but now we call it title versus title. You're going to take the